Hey, what's going on, everyone? Tyler Boronski. You're watching my YouTube channel where I'm sitting down with recognizable faces in entertainment and in the digital space. Today's guest, though, resonates more in the business world and even in a sense where this channel originated when in high school interviewing professional baseball players. He's a former pitcher for the Chicago White Sox in their minor leagues, now working at his uncle's company, the A-Rod Corp, usually known as Sleepy Nick, but wide awake for this interview. Nick Silva, appreciate it, brother. Thanks for the time.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, man. And, you got a busy life, especially this last month for you guys. And really always on the road, it seems like. If you were to guess all the cities you've been in the last month, do you think you can name it all?
No, definitely not. It's been crazy. I mean, there was one point in 3 days we were in probably 4 different time zones. So it's like, yeah, the travel's constant, but it's so much fun. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
I mean, I try to keep track. I might be off a few cities, but I got LA down. I got Houston and Atlanta because of the World Series. You got Boston, and I know that's where we connected. New York, Minnesota. So you definitely connected all across the U.S. map, I would say, in that sense.
Yeah, you're missing probably like 2 or 3 more. We make a couple pit stops in Miami. We made one in Arizona. It was been a crazy month, but so much fun.
And even to give people some context right now, we're doing this interview a little bit earlier because you guys, have a trip right now, last minute to LA, catch the Timberwolves play at Staples Center. So that's kind of what your life looks like right now. It's a bit crazy, right?
Yeah, super crazy. We're excited. Timberwolves, we were checking out the schedule last night and we saw that there's 2 games against the Lakers and Clippers. And I've never been to Staples Center. Alex has been a ton. So he was like, hey, we should just go. And also the Vikings play against the Chargers, actually. So we might catch all 3 games, be full Minnesotans.
People love that stadium too, the SoFi Stadium out in LA right now. People like that a lot. So that's good, man. And my other job, I saw you guys at Fenway a lot during the playoffs. Just seeing you, with Alex, you really seem like a right-hand man right now for him and all his different responsibilities. So to give people some of your background, some context, what are your responsibilities right now at the A-Rod Corp?
So right now at A-Rod Corp, I'm actually like the gatekeeper to Alex between like our partners and, our team members. So Alex is, as you can imagine, crazy busy. And I'm kind of the one, on point with him. I'm with him probably 97% of the time. So like if anybody needs something urgently or needs something that needs his attention right away or paperwork that needs to be signed, I'm the one on point with him and, executing all that information for him and translating it in a way that it helps both sides.
I was saying before in the intro how, you actually started your career in minor league baseball and then eventually transitioned to the business world. I know Alex is, your uncle, but what was the process like of almost like pitching to him that, hey, I could join your team and, have as much responsibilities as you do at a young age? I know we're, similar in age, but you're, switching careers in a sense. And just to be at a high position like that already, what was kind of like the pitch like to, hey, let me join your team. Let me be with you for all these events.
So it started in college, he was already retired. And it was during the time when I had to start choosing my major. And I was like, I see how much fun he's having in business. So I was like, all right, I'm going to study business management. So I went to University of Maine, studied business management while I played. And then a couple years later, I did my 4 years there, 2 years with the White Sox. And then, I eventually got released and my career was over for baseball. And so he invited me over to his house for, I think it was 4th of July weekend. And during that time, he was in the process of, through the Mets, trying to acquire the Mets. And that's something that's always interested me, being part of a front office and, baseball, that's my passion. And I remember we were working out one day and he had a full slate of calls that it regarded the Mets. And I kind of just said like, hey, do you mind if I sit in on one of the calls and, just take notes? That I would love just to listen and, be a sponge and gather all of this information. And then from that point on, I've been on every single meeting and, I guess I made my mark in that meeting and I impressed them. And since that day, I've been a part of the team.
Man, good for you, man. That's what you kind of got to do sometimes. Pitch your way in and like you said, you kind of just asked a shadow one day for a call and, kind of rolled from there.
Exactly. And, little by little, I've been so grateful because my role has progressed a little more. Before it was just, taking notes, and then, he would ask for a little bit of my input. I started as an intern, and now I'm, working my way up through the organization, just, having fun and learning every day.
You said it kind of started for you in college, studying business management and seeing what Alex was doing, saying it was fun, and you see maybe a front office being something that you could want to do one day. But what aspects of it did you really enjoy in college? Was there maybe a particular class or just an aspect of business that really intrigued you that, hey, I want to dive head first into doing this maybe full time in my career?
I took a class my senior year. I'll never forget it. It was a business elective. Our first project was we had to create an expansion team, put it in like a certain location. We put it in Nashville. You have to build out naming rights to the stadium, how you're going to fund the stadium, the baseball operations side, like how you're going to draft players through the draft, and, signing free agents, and through that project, I fell in love with the process of building an organization, like a baseball or sports organization. And I figured this is something I would love to do one day, and, making my way hopefully towards that one day.
Definitely, man. Because of your job and Alex, I'm sure you've met a ton of people in the entrepreneurial space in the business world. Who are some of the people that maybe you've had a solid conversation with?
Definitely Mark Laurie. He's he's Alex's partner with the Timberwolves, a former Walmart executive, and he had 3 other startups where he sold for. He did pretty well on. He's been a great friend to Alex and to myself. Learned a lot from him just being around, and like I said, being a sponge. When I first started, also one of the first trips I was able to go on was Shark Tank. So I was able to, so I met all the sharks: Mark Cuban, Laurie, Mr. Wonderful. Didn't get to engage with them personally, but just listening to all the conversations and the little chatter. Just learned so much, and that's one of the trips that I'm extremely grateful that I got to go to. And, those are some of the best to ever do it.
Are you connected with Gary Vee at all? I know Alex is connected with Gary. Have you met Gary Vee and kind of chatted up with him?
Personally, no, I've never had a conversation with him, but Alex has had a couple Zoom meetings that, I'm in the room next door and I'm kind of trying to listen in. Yeah. So, but I want to meet him one day and, have a great conversation.
Yeah, man, he's a good guy, definitely. And I mean, they got a great office in Hudson Yards. So I'm sure you guys next time in New York will check him out. I was going to ask a little bit. Like I said, you started your career in minor league baseball before transitioning here, and on the outside looking in, it might look like an easy decision given the lifestyle and some of the events you get to attend now compared to maybe what the salary and lifestyle of a rookie league minor league player, but. I'm sure at the time your dreams are to play in the big leagues. I know you said you got released from the White Sox, but what were some of your thoughts through that decision process to, I guess, transition in that way and just maybe, not continue the professional baseball career path?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's something I still think about every day. It's like everybody's dream, to be a Major League Baseball player. But, I had the opportunity to go back into the game, but I figured, I'm not a quitter, but, more of like a realist. And I figured, I was a 40th rounder, 23, 24 years old. So it would have been a lot tougher. And, as you said, the conditions and the pay in the minor league world is not great. So I was like, let me go back to school, because I had left early because I got drafted, finish my degree, and then, go to work. And honestly, it's been the best decision I've ever made. And, I don't regret it. I still miss the game every day, miss being with the guys in the clubhouse, putting those cleats on. But this has been a great decision, and I'm super grateful and super happy.
I mean, it's always like 2 chapters at the end of the day. You had that chapter, and you're moving on to the next. And I know I see you connected with some of your guys that maybe you played in the minor leagues with or in college. I saw you take a picture with one of your former teammates that's on the Astros now. What was that kind of like for you to see him again?
Oh my God, you just gave me goosebumps, because hearing that is crazy, because that's actually, his name is Jeremy Pena. He was my roommate all 3 years in Maine. So it's and we were in Maine, he's Dominican, I'm Dominican, and we had another of our buddies who was Cuban, and we're probably like the only 3 Hispanic kids in the state. So we had a special bond, and we were roommates, and you know, we would always talk about it, you know, on our you know, kitchen table or something. You know, one day we're gonna go to each other's games, or you know, I'll be playing here, you'll be playing there, and then to see it happen, he's on the World Series on the biggest stage of them all. And you know, after the game, I was there. That picture was during the CS. So after his champagne shower, I texted him, "Come outside. I'm on the field. Let's get a pic." And then he came out, and it was the best moment ever.
Man, that's so surreal. And I mean, college is the best, man. I mean, for me, like in that way, you had it on the playing side, and I went to school for this type of stuff, the sports media and sports broadcasting. And it's like me and my classmates back then, it's like we dream about being at Fenway Park covering like the Red Sox, or being at Yankee Stadium, cover the Yankees, and see your boys do that, you know, and really not that long ago, if you think about it too, like a couple of years, that's pretty cool. I'm sure it was a special moment for you.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Speaking of, you know, being at the stadiums, being at ballparks, like I said, this last month, you've been with Alex, with him having his responsibilities at Fox as an analyst for the playoffs and the World Series. When you're in the green room you got Big Poppy on your left, you got the Big Hurt, Frank Thomas on your right, Alex, if you're in studio, Dontrell. What are those conversations like, and for you to absorb, especially a guy like you that did play at a high level of baseball, but you know, you got superstars around you in the room. What are those green room conversations like watching a Major League Baseball playoff game?
I wish that there was a camera in there so that everybody can experience that. Like, I am so lucky to like hear what goes on in there. I'm literally surrounded by a Hall of Famer, 2 potential Hall of Famers, and a almost Cy Young winner, you know, and you're just hearing them pick the game of baseball up, and they're talking about every single play, detail, what they used to think in the box, and these conversations get crazy, and it's so fun. It's just a great group of guys. Like, they just love to have fun, and we have our point guard Kevin Burkhardt, who's also the best. Like,
love him, man. I used to watch him in SNY all the time when I was younger.
Yep. So it's honestly like, you know, every kid's dream. You know, just like, you know, just sitting there and listening to some of the players that they grew up, and me from Miami getting to see Dontrell Willis, who, like, I grew up watching him in 2003 winning the World Series with the Marlins. And I went to a couple of those playoff games. So it's like, it's a dream come true.
I got a Dontrell story. He was one of my first ever interviews when I was like a freshman in high school. I used to cover independent league baseball, and he was playing for one of our Bridgeport Bluefish at the time, one of our teams. You know, he's finished up his career. You know, but like just being in the clubhouse with him for like the month and a half he was with us, and it was just like a talker and sharing stories. I always remember him telling stories about like when Jose Bautista was good at the time with the Blue Jays, and him telling me the difference. Like, oh, I used to play against Bautista when he's with the Pirates, and like he's just totally changed now with the Blue Jays. And I remember him talking about he played against the Cubs, like minor league team, and like Soler and you know, Baez at the time. He's like, these kids are gonna be good, man. And now seeing Soler now on the World Series stage is like, shoot, I remember him like talking about that. So he's honestly the best, and he's a golfer now. He loves golfing. Yeah. He said we're gonna hit the links one day, so I'm excited. All right, I do want to ask you know, in a way it's a little more of a serious question, but you know, being with Alex, you obviously guys, you know, him being so well known and just in the public spotlight a lot. I saw firsthand when you guys were at Fenway, you know, people always want his attention anyway. And, you know, even maybe it might be, you know, with some like personal comments, like even something with like the J-Lo comments.
J-Lo! Hey, A-Rod! What's your favorite Ben Affleck movie?
I know he's been in the spotlight for a while, but just, you know, you're a human at the end of the day, I'm sure is annoying or uncomfortable and in a sense of awkwardness. So how have you seen him handle uncomfortable situations like that with the public?
Well, the thing I applaud about him, he's a good sport. He understands, you know, that he understands that things like that will happen, especially in a town like Boston. And you know, he doesn't let it get to him, which I'm very proud of him for. He doesn't really talk about it either, and it's you know, something that doesn't really bother him. But the good thing is, like, he loves me because I always make fun of him too. Like I always, you know, poke him in the stomach, like with some jokes. And so he's always been a good sport with jokes, and he loves to he can dish them out, so he can definitely take it.
I will say once he starts signing autographs, I notice everyone shuts up. So that's what always happens. You got people shouting whatever, and until he turns around and then starts signing, and then they quiet down.
Yeah. They love him. They always scream at him, and then they want an autograph. That's just the way it works.
Yeah, man, definitely. Well, I appreciate you letting me ask that, because I thought for a second, like, I know on the playing side you might get the "you suck" comments, all that, and that's easy to put away. But something when people are saying, stuff that's personal in your life that's happened, and really shouting that, I feel like that's another level. But it's good to hear that he takes that well and really doesn't take it personally.
Of course, yeah, he understands the the mindset of a fan, and it doesn't get to him too bad. He's the, as you said, he has a PhD in getting booed. So over the years he's grown a thick skin, and he's easy to say a joke, so he can take them.
All right, last thing for you. Sell me quick on the future of the Timberwolves. Why should we be excited to see some of those young guys in action, and check them out on League Pass or something?
You gotta watch our team. I mean, we're on a little skid right now, but we're coming, man. Anthony Edwards is a beast. Put up 48 last night. He's only 20 years old. That guy has some incredible bounce, and his ability to get to the basket. Plus, we got Karl Anthony Towns, who's you feel like has been in the league 10 years, but he's 25, 26 years old. He's still just getting better. And then to mix it with D'Lo, who can shoot, and now you add Patrick Beverley, who's like a gritty veteran who's gonna solidify our defense. Like, it's exciting. I'm excited for what we have coming. We have some young stars, and we're just going to continue to get better, get more experienced. And I'm excited for the Timberwolves' future. It's going to be fun.
Definitely, man. I got to say, too, for Anthony Edwards, so just being on the media side, one of the best quotes in the league. Man, he's so funny. You really don't know what he's ever going to say.
Yeah, if I play pretty good defense, then I'm going to be good on offense. See my earring? It's dancing.
I see that, yeah. In the fourth,
he's a great interview, and he's an even better person. He's great guy, great to talk to, and he's hilarious. He's got that superstar like aura to him. Like when he walks into a room, like you're like, wow, this guy's different.
That's true. Yeah, you definitely pay attention with kind of everything he does. So I agree with that for sure. Hey, Nick Silva, appreciate the time, and thanks again, and see you on the road probably sometime soon. So thanks again, man.
It was great. Thank you for having me.